after a pretty eventful Nürburgring race back at the European Grand Prix, we are here for round 5 of the IWTR World Flow Series Season 4. It is the Turkish Grand Prix here in Istanbul Park circuit in Turkey. The track itself, as you can see right here, well, first hosting a Formula 1 Grand Prix back in 2005, and since then it has become one of the fan favourite tracks on the calendar. And it's also being major series that have come here, a lot of them, including of course F1, WTCC, DTM, MotoGP, World Superbike, and the European Le Mans series as well. Let's have a look at the track layout itself and some of the histories behind it. Located at Tuzla, Istanbul, Turkey, a 5.338 km circuit or 3.317 miles, 14 corners, 8 to the left and 6 to the right. It is the 4th time in a row that we will host a Turkish Grand Prix for the IWTR series, and then of course F1 comes here in 2005 and then through 2011, and then when the COVID pandemic hit, they continued to host this race 2 more times in 2020 and 2021. And also with the previous winners of this Grand Prix being Season 1, that's Simo Yakinga, Season 2, Adia Bakas and Panos Glazos in Season 3. Lots of familiar names as you see right here. Adia Bakas especially will be the one to watch out here for today's race. And we are back here in the Middle East at Istanbul Park circuit. Hello everyone, I'm Pauza, your host and your commentator, and today it is another day here for the Turkish Grand Prix for the 4th time in a row that IWTR visits here. Like lots of fans that this track do really provides a lot of action, and for the drivers themselves, they really like the technical part of the track. And if I'll be honest, I'm really excited to see how will this race unfolds. But there is still one thing left before we're going. But yeah, people have been asking that, where is the championship standings? Where is the update of it? Well, I'll bring you. But here it is for the championship update for both the drivers and the constructors. Let's start off with the driver standings as we go along here. After we left off at the European Grand Prix, Mitch Johnson leads away with 39 points. I mean, honestly, the top 7 of the grid is separated only 11 points, which is absolutely insane, and I could not believe it. And with this type of a championship, there will still be loads of battles throughout the season, but there's still no clear winner and who's going to come out on top. So the top 7 definitely the one to watch out. Even in the midfields, they are really close to each other. Like for example, Tin Anderson, Sepp Plebs and Mr. Peanut Butter, they all separated only 5 points all for them in 8th, 9th and 10th. That's the top 10 only. Top 10 is literally separated only 16 points. Actually 19 points. Bonkers. That was bonkers stats right there. But as you always say, like some of the back markers who didn't score any points, for example, Sotiris, Contagura, Seninkaya, and Dylan Hope, they still have a chance. They still have a chance to catch it up. But they're gonna have to hope that the guys in front of the standings may crash out or do something stupid. But I don't think they will, or maybe not. But anything can happen in this sport, and so I do hope so. Meanwhile, in the constructors' standings, it is still pretty tight. It's as hectic as the driver standings, as we see right here. Sauber, Jaguar, Haas, they all separated by only 21 points. That is really small gap for constructor standings. And normally, the maximum amount of points that your team can score is 43 points. So it's literally half of it. So it's still loads of chance for the rest, for any team actually could potentially get up on the front. But yeah, Sauber leading with Jaguar in 2nd, Haas in 3rd, Ferrari in 4th, then And then the Porsches in the 5th place, which is 40 points, literally the same points as Ferrari. But then we also got someone like McLaren and Williams. They both have the same points as well, 32 points. But still, they are a little bit far behind at the front guys, which is the Sauber and the Jaguar. But definitely, it seems as though everything may gone Sauber's way once again, because this is the second time in a row that Sauber, in some point in the season, has led a constructor standings. So could be, or actually maybe it's a third time, because season 2 they also led a constructor standings at one point as well in the season 2. But yeah, some guys on the back, which is Toro Rosso, Mercedes and Toyota. I mean, especially Mercedes and Toyota, who both have a miserable start to the season. They could strategically still crawl back from the dead and maybe even take a victory, or maybe so. But this is only round 5 of the championship. It's still a lot to play for all these teams and drivers as well. And that's all the updates for after 4 rounds of the IWTR World Formula Series Season 4. And so far, I would say it's looking pretty unclear, to be honest. But for both the drivers and constructors, there's still no clear winner. So let's decide it, or just say, let's continue on for round 5 here in Istanbul. So let's have a look at the formation lap and the starting grid for the Turkish Grand Prix. So here we go, drivers coming out of the pit lane. Actually, the starting grid, sorry. And let's have a look, starting grid this. Let's start off with the front row on the grid. Adia Backus. I think that's his first pole in the season, I think. And alongside him is Nick Koch, the last race winner and the first ever woman to win the IWTR race, or sanctioned race. Second row we have Tina Anderson in the Sauber and Flonja Wilson in 4th place lines up today. Row 3 we have Fernando Miller and Simon Witt. Finally, Witt getting the form that he wanted, and he's now up to starting in 6th. Tom Miller as well, starting in 5th. Slatko Drobosavcevic could have got a, as we always said, could have got a podium back at the Sepang International Circuit, but he unfortunately didn't, and he had to settle for 4th, I think, that race. So he would line up 7th today. Akatidi Bivona lines up alongside him in 8th place. Getting a really good, decent start for him now for Bivona. Mr. Peanut Butter score his first ever podium back at the Nürburgring, and alongside him is Cesar Coe Jr. in the Toyota. Senin Kaya, decent qualifying performance, I would say, starting at 11, and Ponchon Shoshana being the man that come back from the back of the pack after having a blunders of strategy calls. He lines up 12 today. Luca Farina and Raymond Tanner lines up in row 7 today. Farina, of course, have a little ding-dong battle at the Sepang and also at Nürburgring as well. And Raymond Tanner, obviously, he's scoring his first podium as well. Same with Mr. Peter Butter. So he lines up in 14 today. Bremen Pilch and Lithuania Pasalic lines up in row 8 today. Bremen Pilch also a little bit a poor qualifying for him, and Lithuania Pasalic as well. It's been a miserable season for him so far in this season. So Teres Contegouras lines up 17th, and Sorek Petrosyan lines up in 18th place. A very bad qualifying for him. It is really unusual for him. And then we have Matthew Falcon and Dylan Hope lines up in row 10. These two still battling hard, but especially Dylan Hope, he needs to score some points if he wants to catch up to the front or whatever his target is. But I would say probably the midfield that he was trying to aim. So he was starting 20th today. Seb Plebs and Alex Luan lines up in row 11. Seb Plebs and Luan, of course, the ones who've been caught in the wrecks by Henry Jack Brown. And here comes now Jafari Blackwood and Henry Jack Brown himself, who caused a big wreck back at lap 5 at the Nürburgring. And finally, rounding out the field is Mihaly Savak and Mitch Johnson, the championship leader, diminish in 26th. So 23 laps around this long circuit. It's it's 5.4 kilometers, so it's pretty much the similar distance to Sepang or Bahrain, but it's all completely different layouts. So here we go. Last few cars lining up on the grid. And there's your medical car, just about to line up on his grid spot as well. So here we go then. 23 laps around the intercity Istanbul Park. It's only going to be 4 sets of lights this time around. And we go green in Istanbul. It is a great start for our dear backers. Look at them. Guys on the back. Tin Anderson makes up a couple of positions there. Only one position. They make contact. 3 wide coming down into turn 1, into turn 2 now. And it is a backers taking a great start there for the Indonesian driver. Tuamela comes out in 2nd place for now. And then Nick Koch dropped down 1 position. Tin Anderson another 1 position down for him. Mr. Peanut Butter 4 positions up from 9th place as he starts. He seems to have really good development on the start of the race. Bivona battling with the Mercedes of Prema Pilch. It looks like Senin Kaya. Where even is he? He's now in 7th place. He started 11th, so that's a good start. And you see all the cars coming around into this monstrous turn 8 corner for the first time this race. And his Sotiris Contaguras a little bit struggling coming out for that. He got a bit wide. There in that corner. Living Pasalic sends it on the inside into turn 9 and then goes up to turn 10 up into 16th place. Good start for Living Pasalic, even though he lost a couple of positions at the start. He's managed to crawl his way back into 16th place. But there you can see now, Seisai Cohen Jr. tried to go on the outside, but she couldn't go for it because Bivona completely blocked her off in this race. And here comes now Drobo Sarjevic having a little bit of ding-dong battle here with Simon Witt. Both alongside each other, make contact, slight contact a bit. I think Drobo Sarjevic gets the better edge coming off of that corner. And there you see right here now, Senin Kaya still hanging on there. There's a battle in front now. Mr. Peanut Butter alongside Flandre Wilson. Wilson goes back and takes P5. She still have a couple of Carlins in front of Mr. Peanut Butter. And there you see maybe a move made. Bivona down the inside into that turn 3, I think. And then into turn 4 and 5. He clears the move done into P9. Witt drops down 4 positions. That is a little bit of a struggle here for him. But Prema Pilch actually catching up to the front, driving the Lewis Hamilton's number 44 car. And you see maybe a move made there. Paul Shoshana there alongside the Ferrari driver of Luca Farina. Farina prevails, goes to 14th once again. Leifman Pasalic is in 16th right now. I would say Dylan Hope as well in 18th, but he sends it in on the Toro Rosso there. That didn't give Contaguras any time to react, but then here goes, oh, he locked, maybe I think Dylan Hope checking up. That gives Raymond Tanner giving him a little bit of edge here, and you can see now it's still going to be a lot of side-by-side actions here on the start of a race. We're only just lap 2 of the race, and we have a lot of battles going on, developing. As we see now, Luan trying to battle his way through Contaguras. He has the better inside line, but he's going to get a little bit compromised on the exit right here. They're still alongside each other, but I think Alex Luan is going to clear him off. Yes, he does. And then it's going to be almost a 4-wide move there, and it is 3 wide into turn 1. It's going to be a low to contact. Jafari Blackwood, he tried to go for it, but it wasn't going to work. But Brown goes back up to P20 now. Brown's trying to look on the inside of that Toyota driver of Luan. Luan hangs it on the inside on turn 4. Then into turn 5. Brown has the inside line, but I think Luan gonna go around the outside to clear the spot there. P19. What a battle it was, and Blackwood managed to clear away from Zori Petrojan there. And you can see Sepp Lebs actually dropped back 2 positions now from the starting spot. Not a great start for the German driver. These two are having a little battles here. Mihaly Savak, who scored Williams' first points in this season, and he's dropped back massively on the pace. Meanwhile, back at the front, and we have a little bit of interruption there. That was the medical car that was on the track. And I have no idea what the hell is going on there. That was a medical car, I think. If it stops spots on track, I don't think there's gonna be any interruptions on track. But sorry for that. The driver's gonna be a little bit annoying that the safety car, the medical car, is still out on track there. But I hope it will be fine for them. As you see right here, Vitz setting the fastest lap time, but there it goes. Paul Shoshanat pounds it through the way, and he takes P14. And maybe he will try and lit up the fires, and once again he's going for another move. He's going on Matthew Falcon. Matthew Falcon, he's still alongside. They're still alongside each other. I think Shoshan has the inside line, and he's gonna take it. P13 for him. Come back from his worst startings, from his a little bit mediocre start for him. He lost a couple of positions at the start. For Salek though, meanwhile, he was trying to attack Luca Farina there. Into turn 8 they go. Still, and you can see there the 2017 cars flying through the turn 8 corner. Really just a massive balls run, I guess. And here we goes now. Let's see, have a look at the front. Now it's going to be a battle for second place. Nick Koch try to go on the inside. She tried to take back her original starting spot, as she did, up to second place. Tuomela in third place right now, being overtaken by Nick Koch. But yet Tuomela has the DRS, but he still couldn't get quite close to that Haas driver. Meanwhile, Backers, he's just pulled away. He's now 3 seconds in front of Nick Koch right now. And you see the rest of the pack behind. Tim Anderson actually catching up to the second and third place guy now. And Wilson as well. Wilson and the rest of the pack is actually coming through. So still a couple of changes in the position, and we're now currently on lap 5 of the race. So I guess so far the biggest gainer, I would say, is currently, well, I would say Matthew Falcon, who was starting 19th earlier on. He's now 14th, which is 5 positions up. So it wasn't as massive as the last race, where we have a safety car that caused by Henry Chad Brown and caused a lot of havoc in the midfield and even the leaders as well. So it's still. So there's still a couple of drivers. They're still looking to try to make a move there, and there is these two right now. Here it goes, Serenkaya having to defend against Drobozarjevic. Drobozarjevic going on the outside. That was a bit optimistic, but wasn't really having much effect. But here it goes now. Battle for fourth we go. Flondra Wilson, a little bit compromised on the exit right here, but she still managed to try to hang on because Tim Anderson is alongside her. Oh, they're still going on the side by side there, but Tim Anderson managed to crawl his way through into fourth place. And here comes now Mr. Peanut Butter. He tried to go around the outside on Flondra Wilson, but I mean, Wilson has the inside line. It's now going to turn for the outside for her. And Peanut Butter, oh, a little bit compromised. Just a little bit checked up there. And he made a contact with Serenkaya. But hopefully there's going to be no such. Hopefully that's only going to be a minimal damage for both of them. But you see now, Wilson is actually leading the train full of cars. And there we see now actually Bivona in 9th place. He gets a really good exit there. He looks on the inside. He might try to go for a move on the Porsche, and he does on Drobozarjevic. They're lost each other, but I feel like Bivona going a little bit slow there, coming off that corner, and that might allow some of it to go alongside him as well. But I mean, Bivona has a slipstream in front. He is on the inside line. And you see now it's going to be a 4-car battle for 9th place, as we see right here. Bivona leads away in 9th in this group. Prem Pilch now has to defend from the Toyota of Cesar Cohen Jr. Cohen Jr. couldn't try to even overtake Prima Pilch. I think she might compromise the exit of the last corner. So I have 14 corners, so it's gonna be sometimes very technical. But here comes now Pilch on the inside of that Red Bull of Simon Witt. Witt doesn't want to give up. He makes contact with the Mercedes, but oh yeah, and he got checked up by a bit by Prima Pilch. But that is it. He is outside of the point standings so far, or the point scoring position, I would say. But back at the front though, Diabak is leading away, 5 seconds gap. That is a big gap. Actually about 4.5 seconds. But there you see right there, Tuomela is not giving up his yet. He's actually catching up though. We'll have to wait and see what his lap time is on the front. And also Nick Koch as well. She's actually only a couple of tenths behind, so she could maybe have a little bit of striking distance right here. Nick Koch try to go around the outside on the Jaguar driver. She does try to go around the outside, but I don't think that might work as well as they intended to go for. You usually would want to go on the inside of that 12th corner, but she tried for it, but it didn't work for her. But I mean, she has another DRS here on the front stretch, and she tries to go on the inside of this corner. Nick Koch, well, it's still not going to be enough. Tuomela still hangs on in second place. Lap 8 of the race, 23 laps, and I think we're only about 16 laps to go in this race. We still have Mr. Peanut Butter in P6, as we see right here, setting Kaya in 7th. Doesn't really do anything that much, but I mean, setting Kaya is actually catching up to the front guys as well. All these drivers are actually, well, they're all using the soft tires so far, and no one hasn't going to the pit stop to change the tires yet. So I could be wrong, but these guys probably may stick on these soft tires for maybe the next stint as well. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see right here. Let's have a look on board with Prima Pilch now, who currently sits in 10th place. Right on the side of the roll bars. You see the movements on his helmet, on his head. The amount of G-force he was going through the straight is actually not as terrible when you brake. It's not as much as when you brake, but you see that his foot is just absolutely flat to the floor now. And then we see on this corner, yep, the G-force just brings him in. It's about 4 or 5 Gs when you're braking the car. And there we go, now lap 9 of the race so far, and here we go now, Bivona trying to sneak past the Porsche of Strobo Sarjevic, but it wasn't really going to be worth it. But here comes now Prima Pilch on the outside of Witt, and I think he might have made the move, just done it. Yes, he does. Goes up to P10 for him, and Witt's lost up his position to Cohen Jr. or easy. Because Witt trying to go around the outside, they make a little bit of contact. I think Cohen Jr. slides off a bit. That might have to give Witt a position back. So Witt's still in P11 and Cohen Jr. in P12. But here comes now Pongshon Shoshainat. If these three drivers in front, they are actually battling for position, that means I think Pongshon Shoshainat could actually get close to these guys even more now. And now we see over here now, as we see now Cohen Jr. on the outside. And here it comes now Shoshan as well. And beautiful move there for Cohen Jr. on the outside of Witt. And Shoshana sneak passes through the Red Bull driver all easy once again. Witt is not giving up the position. Shoshana may be going a little bit too deep into that inside corner. But they both have DRS. So that means it's going to be a bit tight battle here. Shoshana on the inside compromises the exit and lost him 2 positions there as Luca Farina takes away P13 from Shoshana, and he's going to sneak pass Vit once more, and he's going round the outside and going to turn on the inside into turn 5. Still alongside each other, but I think Farina may have just get it done. No! Vit still hangs on in P12, and Shoshana retakes P13. But here comes now Farina on the outside once again. They're really just battling for each other now. Farina still trying to hang on, and he does so into P13. Back at P13 through the turn 8 corner, as we see now Matthew Falcon. Have a look on board with him now. And here he goes, and he's not gonna attack yet, so you're just trying to wait until the right time comes. So we're still yet to see, and here he goes now, DRS enabled. So he's getting close to Shoshana, but Shoshana has the slipstream from the Ferrari driver up front, but you see on the back there, I think those Luan and Living Pasalik, they're both having a little bit of battle going on the back of Falcon's rear wheel. But I think Luan, he's managed to eke out Pasalik. Yes, he does. 6 positions up for him. Luan hasn't had the greatest start of his career in IWTR so far. I would say, well, that's because, Luan only scored 2 points this season so far, which is all 10th place. But yeah, 1 DNF as well after he being caught up with the accident. But yeah, it's not looking great for the Vietnamese driver. But we'll see. Maybe the season, maybe as we going later in the season, he could improve after all. Let's see, back at the front though. Back is still in the lead with about half distance about to be completed. But here goes now Nick Koch. Actually, was he trying to go for a move? Yes, she does, and she has the DRS, and she's pulled away. So now she has about 3 or 4 tenths of a gap now. But yeah, around the outside of that corner, that was a marvelous move there. Oh, and I think Matthew Falcon, he tried to go once. Actually, Tuomela, sorry. Tuomela tried to go on the inside on Nick Koch. It looks as though I think Tuomela is going to go into the pit lane at this point. And somebody's drive as well. Flandre Wilson, yep, going to the pit lane. Mr. Peanut Butter, Drobosarjevic, Zed, and Kaya. Literally everybody else actually pitting. Diabagas as well. Lots of gaps in front of him. So now I think it's probably the prime time that Nick Koch still has a tire life to go through. So she maybe consider trying to get a lead before she hits to the pit lane. We'll have to wait and see. Nick Koch, yeah, going round through that massive turn 8, the 4 apexes corner. Really difficult to judge where your apex is, because it's just gonna be so fast when you're traveling into that corner with that high speed. So you have to need some precision to go through that corner perfectly. But there it goes now. Back is actually slowing down a little bit because he's going to the pit this lap. And for Nick Koch, by the way, she's not gonna come into the pit lane yet. But yeah, you see right there, Backus comes into the pit lane. And now Nick Koch and Tim Anderson, actually both of them, gonna be the 2 cars that's gonna stay out. I think the rest of the field may come in. The rest of the field might come into the pit lanes instantly. Maybe not. You see there, Shoshana is staying out. He's staying out for 1 more lap. Same with Luan. Maybe some of the other guys as well, as we see right here, Petrojan and Dylan Hope having a little bit of battle here, and some of these guys actually, yeah, the back markers. Oh, that's it. Oh no, that's not a good sign as well. What on earth is even going on? I think that's Brown and Mitch Johnson there. What is going on for them? So it was after the turn 8. I'm having a little bit of kerfuffle. Oh my goodness me! That is certainly very dangerous there. But who is trying to brake? I think it was Brown who were trying to brake, but there is literally loads of rooms on the front that he still could be able to brake. But Mitch Johnson just plows into the back of that Force India. But I mean, he didn't know that they were, you know, they were slowing down. He just went straight into the back of that Force India driver. I feel like Mitch Johnson is having a little bit of revenge on Henry Jack Brown, because, well, even though Mitch Johnson scored points last race at Nürburgring, I think he was the one who involved in the accident as well. He is, if he is or not, but yeah, I'm not really sure though. But yeah, but Mitch Johnson and Henry Jack Brown now gonna have to go into the pit lane, change the tires, and even repairing the damage. But it's gonna be tough for Brown because that rear wing is gonna cost him a ton of times to repair. Not as much as Mitch Johnson did, who only damaged the front wing, the whole of it. As we now arrive in the first and probably the only stop to the race. Or maybe not, because Backus and the rest of the field actually picking a ultra soft tires. So, you know, we could still see a two-stop strategy as well might be coming into play. There you see now, everybody else that hasn't pitted yet last lap now pits this lap. Now that means Backus will lead the race. And he's going to come straight into the pit lane after just about, I don't know, a couple of laps. They're already coming to the pits. Nick Koch is coming out in second place. Anderson coming in third. They didn't lose any positions though. The top three is literally the same as we started. But Tormella fourth place. But his tires actually worn out very quickly. Didn't notice that the ultra soft tires could worn out so quickly like this. So the new fresh tires, guys, they would have a massive advantage pitting later than the guys who pitted a lap earlier. So we will see what will happen, but let's see what happens right now. As we see now, Dylan Hoped is now gonna try, and he just sends it on the inside of Prem and Pilt, and it goes to P11, and now it's gonna catch up to the rest of the guys as well. And here we go now. Atia Backus is now gonna come to pit lane once again. Koch is second, and you can see already the tires are worn out. The tire is actually worn out pretty quickly. You see on the tire, the marbles that you see on the tires, and here it goes. Is she gonna go even go to the pits this lap? I feel like she does. I feel like she doesn't. Yeah, she's staying out for one more lap. So for her, it's gonna be another set of ultra soft. Is it ultra soft? It is ultra soft. 4.88 stop for Tuamela. He will comes out just behind. Well, actually, yeah, just behind Tuamela, and he's gained 13 positions up. We have a little bit of battle going on. Matthew Falcon and Zori Petrosyan having a little bit of a ding-dong battle here. Petrosyan goes up to P9. Matthew Falcon goes up to 10th. And here we see what we still maybe having. I think Blackwood 12 positions up, but only 1.1 position away from taking Dylan Hope's ground. Actually, Dylan Hope now lost a position. Actually, from the pit lane, so we're gonna do anything to due diligence, I guess. But Nick Koch leads away. She leads away for the second time in a row. We have Tin Anderson actually in second place, but I feel like these two are probably gonna pit soon as well. There it goes now. Nick Koch setting the fastest lap time. That is pretty insane. And she, oh, I feel like maybe a Diabagger may get the wrong set of ultra soft tires. Could be. Maybe the pit crews are getting him wrong set of ultra soft tires, and they just get them straight back to the pit lane. But Alex won, fastest lap time again. Another faster lap time indication there. So that means the ultra soft tires certainly is faster than the soft tires that we're used to. And so far, personal best lap time for him, 127.725. So meanwhile, they're setting Kaya 132.7. That is horrific, but I think he's just coming out of the pit lane, doesn't he? 32.6 for Mr. Peanut Butter, 32.0 for Drobos Arjevic, I think. Yeah, pretty much everybody is doing 32s, apart from the ones that just came out of the pit lane. I think those are the 32s, but the ones who are, I think the ones who are like 27s, as they already warm up their tires and just have completely lapped, and we still have a couple of laps left to go, as we see right here. Lap 70 out of 23. Nick Koch, she's looking for a second straight win in a row. I mean, somebody has done that before in the past, but could she potentially go 3 in a row? We'll have to wait and see, but 2 in a row could be a possibility, to be honest. And now actually the fight for the last point scoring position is actually on now, as we see right here. Contagura is actually slow getaway coming off of that turn 14, so I think that might allow Blackwood to send on the inside, or a little bit late braking there from the Jamaican driver, and he's now alongside the Greek driver, and here comes now Sepplips out of nowhere. It's almost going to be a 3 wide coming into turn 3, and it's going to be absolutely really tight here. Sepplips on the inside of Contaguras, and I think he has the better edge on the traction here. Round the outside he goes, and he takes P11. What a move there, Sepplips. 2 cars in 1 corner. Meanwhile, in 6th place, Dylan Hoped. He's actually got a lot of hopes on his hand, I would say. 6th place, 14 positions up, but he has no Tomala behind, and he is in the DRS range. So, could be a fight for 6th place for him now, if he wants to stay in 6th place. And there he goes now, Tomala going easy and just went straight on the inside of Dylan Hope. The Welsh driver could not hold on, and he has to settle for 7th for now. But I think the biggest gainer so far is Alex Luwan, now in P5. 17 positions up. That is still pretty insane amount of driver overtakes, but that's mostly due to him overtaking in the pit lane, so might take advantage of that. So we're now into lap 18 out of 23 now. The leaders actually went almost as far away now from the 2nd place, which is Nick Koch. Just went so much ahead of Tim Anderson right now, and yeah, it's still really a hectic race so far, but so far it's pretty clean. Might have some a little bit argy-bargy moves on the way, but overall it's still a pretty solid race. But now that everybody has been spread out because of the pit stop, and looks like Matthew Falcon is going to come into the pit lane for a 2nd stop, I believe, for him. And there he goes now. Nick Koch comes around to start lap 19. I think, yep, it's going to be 2nd stop for everybody, but not for Atia Bacchus, I think. Or maybe. But yeah, Nick Koch, Tin Harrison coming into the pit lane this lap. Bacchus maybe try? No, he's staying out for another lap, so he's going to try to overcut Nick Koch there. Meanwhile, Koch probably going to try to undercut Tin Harrison, but maybe not, because I think his main target really is probably, actually her main target, sorry about that. I feel like her main target is probably aiming at Adia Bacchus there, who is still staying out on track. in this lap, in the next lap as well. And Shoshana actually makes up a lot of positions here today. 8 positions up, 4th place right now. Still looking decent for the Thai driver. He could potentially score another points finish here in Istanbul. He's actually driving the Roman Grosjean's 2017 car. The helmet isn't right, but the livery certainly is. Meanwhile, back in 5th place, Alex Luwan here in 5th place, number 43. That's a custom number, by the way. Still in 5th place, but he's going to go to the pit lane as well. Tuomela as well in 6th place, but he's not coming into the pit lane. And there he goes, Nick Koch. She's going to the pit lane. Tim Anderson as well. Back is pretty far away. He just reached only turn 12, so it still could be a make or break for Attila Backus. But let's see what happens here. Tim Anderson comes into the pit lane. I think he's going to get another set of ultra soft, 4.3 seconds. What about Nick Koch? 3.93. That is really a fast stop for her. But there it comes now. Backus just coming out. Oh well, he just edge in front of Nick Koch. So she will be 2nd place. Tim Anderson in 3rd. Tuomela in 4th. Luwan just come out of the pit lane. 16 positions up. And there you see Wilson just flies away in 5th place. Luwan drops down to 7th now. There's Poncho Shoshana actually lose 2 positions, but still pretty solid 6th place. And there he goes now, Setting Kaya, just about to get in front of that Renault of Dylan Hope. But I think Hope is not going to let that position getting away from him. He just sends it on the inside with more of the traction of the new fresh tyres. He just went straight into P8 there. Setting Kaya might have to settle for 9th for now. And we are now in lap 20, so it's all about the strategy. Are they going to pit him or not and try to get a better position with the fresh tires, or they're going to stick with their main strategy, which is staying on the tires that they were supposed to be in the after the second stint. But we'll see. Some of the second stints might not happen. It might be only for someone. But here comes now Petrosyan and Farina. They're both battling each other now. Petrosyan on the inside. Luca Farina drops down to P14 and maybe even P15 as Matthew Falcon just passing his way through into the bridge into turn 11. But I feel like Farina's just not giving up just yet. He has the outside line. He has the DRS, but it wasn't really enough. And Falcon secures P14 now. Prem and Pilch in 13th. And still about, well, we still have 3 laps to go in this race. So anything can happen, really. Anything can happen. Sepp Plebs there in P16. And I think he might try as well. He might try to go for a move. No, he doesn't. He still stay behind. He still stay behind the Ferrari driver. Plebs trying to go for it, maybe, and maybe, yep, he does go for the move. Plebs go up to P15, straight on. Bremen Pilch in 14, Matthew Falcon in 13th place, and then Mr. Peterborough into P12. Petrosyan in P11, and then also Drobozarjevic in P10, but it's going to be under attack by Petrosyan, who just comes away, punts them off. And now they are alongside each other now into the turn 8 Turkey. And oh my god, these guys went straight into those corners. Nailed the corners there. Petrosyan goes up to P10. And Mr. Peterborough as well. He's trying to go for P12, I think. He's 3 positions down from his original starting spot there. And actually at the front, they are now reaching lap 22. Only 2 laps to go in this race. There you see now Matthew Falcon, actually the action might start beginning to happen once more, and there goes now Falcon on the inside of that Renault driver. I think he might have just done it. Yep, P12. And Peterborough has to defend from Plebs, who just went straight on the inside, gets on to P13. Could he potentially get into the points? That is the question. He has the DRS, but he has that Renault of Mr. Peterborough attacking him as well. Jafari Blackwood went straight into P15 now with a lot of fresher tyres on his car. But also Plebs gets a really bad exit there coming off of turn 2. Sorry. And Plebs just still be able to hang on through there. But there he goes now. Oh, Luan I think he just made a move on the Jaguar driver of Tuomela. And I think, yep, that's a move in front. Shoshana goes up to P4 there on the inside into turn 7 and then into turn 8. Luan brave enough to go on the inside. They both almost touching each other as well. Great racing from these three drivers. And Luan now trying to catch up to Shoshana now in P4. And the leader's actually in the front. They're actually really far away from us now. From the, well, P5 and P4 battles. There you see now, P11 is still going to rages on here. Here comes now Sepp Plebs, just wins on the inside of the Porsche. He doesn't want to try to give up. And he goes to P11, but now the only question is, can he hang on from that? But he has DRS. He has a DRS. But I feel like Drobozarjevic is going to try. Is he going to go on the inside? No, he stay on the back. So all that Plebs needs to do is get past Sedin Kaya, so it's not going to be a battle for points. Final lap. It is here in the Istanbul Park circuit for the Turkish Grand Prix. Nick Koch is going to be, she's going to be a really fine drive there for her. And then here comes now Tin Anderson in second place. 7.2 seconds behind, now down to about 5.1. So it's still maybe possible, but I don't think it might happen. Meanwhile, the back of the pack, and you see now Plebs, you might try to go for a move on Sedin Kaya. And Kaya had a very worn ultra soft tires as well. So we may see what happens here. But I feel like Sedin Kaya, he might just try to go, sends it on the inside, punts him off, and it's still pretty clean. And Plebs just managed to get up into P10 there, and we're gonna now go straight back to the front. Nick Koch, 2 in a row for her. She wins the Turkish Grand Prix for the Haas team for the second time of this season. Tin Anderson second place, at the back is third, and potentially Shoshana 4th, and Luan 5th. But there's still battle here in P6. Tuomela trying to hang on for the Porsche of Londre Wilson. I think Tuomela is going to get P6 today, and Wilson will get P7 today. That is and then Dylan Hope P8, first points for him. So Jean will come home to finish P9 today, and the top and the final position on the grid, the points paying position on the grid is Sepp Plebs. She came back from the brink and just to score a lone single point for the Red Bull team. What a comeback that was for Sepp Plebs there. He has done the Porsche Shoshana back at Nürburgring. Just come back and scores the points, but Sedin Kaya, it's just so close for him to score his first points of the season. But it just wasn't meant to be for the Mercedes driver. And Matthew Falcon as well. Good amount of performance, but it wasn't really enough for him to manage to crawl his way into the top 10. Jafari Blackwood will finish in P13, a massive job for him. But yeah, managed to climb up his way from P23 to P13. That is a marvelous achievement. I think that's still a good recovery drive for him. Slatko Drobozarjevic, P14 for him. The Condegor is P15 for him. Mr. Pino was 16 from Pooch 17. Yeah, not a really soft spot for him. But there you see also Mihaly Silva, 7 positions up. Starting from the 25th position, last row on the grid. Still pretty amazing that he's still finishing P18. Farina drops down 6 places from his starting spot. He's finishing P19. Not a great day for the Ferrari team, but I would say they're still going to try to find their hopes once again. There you see Mitch Johnson finishing P20, Raymond Tanner P21, Simon Witt, the loser of the weekend, I would say. The loser of the weekend, just very off the pace for him. And Cohen Jr. in P23, and Bivona finishing P24, and Brown P25, and Pasalic, oh boy, both of the Force Indians finish in last places. that is a bit of an embarrassment, I would say. But yeah, Pasalic and Brown finishing last. That is really that is really bad for the Force India team. But yeah, Luan fastest lap of the race, 1:27.598. That is quick. So yeah, congratulations to Nick Koch for winning the Turkish Grand Prix. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting race, I would say. Battle to the end, just like Nürburgring. I meant Sepang actually. But yeah, Nick Koch, he scores second win in a row. That is quite an achievement there. But yeah, that's about it. And you see both of the Hasses in the top 5. What is even more weirder than having a Haas in the top 5? But here's the thing, this is a fantasy series, so anything could literally happen with equal cars, equal driver performance. So this is what the results might happen. Actually, Pedro Jean actually did score points for Ferrari, but meanwhile Farina doesn't, finish in P19, 10 positions down. Ooh, that is yeah. But yeah, that's it for the Turkish Grand Prix here at the inner city Istanbul Park circuit. Next round, we're heading towards we're heading towards the back to Europe for the second round for the European swing, as we're going to head to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at the Autodromo Enzo Di Dino Ferrari, or basically the Imola circuit for the second year in a row. So I would say it's the one of the tracks that not many a lot of passes. It's mostly about tactics or strategies in the pit lane, but there still maybe could be a room to pass if, well, we're actually using the current layout of the Imola circuit. So it is a long straight in the pit from the pit building onwards. So there could still be a chance, but let's see what the drivers will be surprised about. And yeah, but yeah, it's still a pretty fun race to commentate for this race. And well, that's it for our broadcast. So if you like this kind of content and wanting to see more of these, make sure to subscribe to the International World Tour Racing channel. You can give a like, a share, or subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any new videos or races that will be coming to you in the near future. And if you'd like to join this league, I'll put the Discord link in the description below. And that's it from me today. I've been Pausa, your host and your commentator, signing off for today. Goodbye everyone.